Peace, everybody. What's good? It's our boy, Coach Malachi Williams, and you are now tuned to New Media Today USA Boxing. Let's go. All right, everybody, check this out. I was looking at the interview that Errol Spence gave yesterday with Fight Hype. He did it with Fight Hub as well. Just a lot of questions that some of the reporters had. Shout out to you guys. You guys did a really good job. Of course, it was pressing him about the Terence Crawford. He looked very, very uncomfortable. Basically, he did say that 147 is not. He's getting older. 147 is hard for him to make. You know, maybe he'll, so he's insinuating that he probably may move up to 154. You know, he didn't really want to talk about Crawford too much. He did give Crawford his props, said that Crawford did look good in the ring. He didn't say a lot of the stuff that a lot of these aerosexuals say online. He didn't have the hatred and the vitriol that his the radical base, that who I will say this. I don't think Errol Spence have anything to do with this radical base. He don't have anything to do with these guys. You don't even get these guys interviews and none of that stuff. But that's neither here nor there. So, but when asking him about the Crawford fight, he seems very indecisive. He seemed just like Derrick James.
I got to ask you, Terence over the weekend knocked out his opponent. Did you see the fight, and what did you think about it?
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
No, I didn't see it. No, I didn't see it. No.
Did you see the highlights at all? Like the knockout, he knocked him out in the 6th round.
Knockout, but I mean, like the last 2 punches or whatever, I didn't see anything other than that.
Just busy?
I mean, I really don't watch a lot of boxing, man. You know what I mean? Come on, man. I don't watch boxing, man.
Say the Bud fight, falls through. It just can't happen for the business reasons or whatnot. And then Jermell, he's the king of 54, and they're like brothers, Errol and Jermell, so we don't see them fighting. So what do you think is best out there for your fighter, Errol, if the Bud fight can't go through?
I think it's to fight whatever he wants. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know if the fight can go through or not. I don't know. I think it's a different negotiation now. I mean,
Yeah.
Because you look at
yesterday's price, not today's price kind of thing?
Not today's price for real. It's like yesterday's price. It's not today's price.
Very vague, very coy, not really saying too much. He really don't know much of anything. Or maybe he do know a lot. And maybe he know that this fight isn't going down.
Is that still the fight you want the most, though, Errol? Undisputed with Terence, or are you moving on right now?
I don't know. I gotta weigh my options, man. I gotta see which new car I'm gonna get.
So you're still hopeful, though. That's the one that you hope. If there's one fight that happens this year, it's that one.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Yeah, man. I mean, next year, anything can happen, man.
If the fight never happens, who's the blame lay upon, Errol, in your opinion, for the fans?
Man.
Is it both of y'all? Is it just Terence? Is it both of you guys, or do you feel like it's just Terence?
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not gonna worry about it too much.
Again, these fighters are not their own bosses. They have to do what Al Heyman tells them to do. You see what I'm saying? So if Al say, hey, listen, this is the plan, this is where we're going at, even though that the advisor is supposed to work for the fighter, but apparently this particular advisor has so much power over his fighters that even though that he works for them, they work for him. You hear what I'm saying? Meaning you got to do what I tell you to do. No, you fight who I tell you to fight when you fight them. If I say this fight is not going down, it's not going down. So, and it kind of makes the fighters look bad. I'm going to take the high road. I'm not going to sit here and say what a lot of the aerosexuals will say about Crawford. Oh, man, he ducking. Even though Tim Smith said that the fight is not going to happen in January 7th of this year, 2022. He said this fight is not going to happen. And even though Floyd Mayweather said October the 7th that the Crawford-Spence fight is not going to happen. So, those who have low IQs, deaf, dumb, and blind, eating swine out of their mind, really don't know much, their comprehensive skills are very, very low. But I say all that to say this. I'm going to take the high road. I'm going to say that, the powers that be, Al Heyman don't want to make this fight with Crawford and Spence. He doesn't want to make this fight at all because Crawford is not his guy. Even, he wants to make the in-house fight. And then they don't feel confident that about Crawford and Spence fighting each other. If they really felt that, if Crawford was a flat-footed fighter like a Mikey Garcia, Ocampo or something like that, or even a Jeff Horn, they will make that fight in a heartbeat. But for whatever the reason may be, This guy that's a free agent who has no promotional ties, no network ties. He's free as a bird. When it comes to this guy, no guarantee, 35% of nothing, just a whole lot of stuff. So, I mean, deals that no fighter in boxing is getting today. None. Especially if you're one of the top fighters. No matter how much you like them or hate them or whatever the case may be, but you can't name one top fighter in boxing that gets zero guarantee. So Errol Spence know what time it is. Him and Crawford is not fighting. I'm telling you guys, it ain't happening. And when I was at the Crawford fight and I saw Crawford post press conference, he had a look on his face as though he knew that fight not going to happen. Why he didn't call Spence out? Doesn't matter whether he called Spence out or not. Crawford was dealing directly with Al Heyman, and he said that Spence wasn't nowhere near the negotiating table. He was dealing directly with Al Heyman. So Al Heyman is the point guy. He can call out Spence all he wants. And he's called him out a million times. And when he called him out, you guys say he's clout chasing. Why he keep calling Spence out? And then when he don't say his name, oh man, he didn't call Spence out. So it's like, you guys flip-flop so much. And I get it. Your hatred for Crawford has got to have you guys deluded. And it's even to the point to where you started hating on Blue Blood Sports TV because of a business situation that he's in, that he found that he's going to help better his family. Everybody's not with the nigga shit. And what you have online, you got a whole bunch of Wakanda niggas online. You guys are very, very ignorant, low IQ, stupid and dumb. Some of you are in your 50s, some of you are in your 60s, some of you are in your 40s, 30s, and even 20s. So, I mean, I don't mean to insult you, but I do mean to insult you because you deserve to be insulted. But as it relates to Errol Spence, there's nothing going down with Errol Spence at all. Nothing going down at all with that fight with Terence Crawford and Spence. Nothing is going down with that fight, guys. I just called it the way I see it. It is what it is. As boxing fans, this is just one of those fights. It's very similar. As boxing fans, it's one of those fights very similar to Sugar Ray Leonard and what's my main man name? Aaron Pryor. We never got that fight. And you never get all of the fights. Floyd didn't fight everybody. This is going to be one of those fights we're not going to get. The fact of the matter is, the power brokers in boxing, Al Heyman, he's not going to make this fight happen. And so I'm not going to say Errol Spence is ducking because I hate Errol Spence, and I don't hate Errol Spence. I hate you Errol-sexuals with a passion. I hate you Wakanda niggas. Yes, that is true. But I don't hate Spence. But I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that he has no control over his career. This is what it looks like, guys, when you have a fighter that has no control over his career, and he has to do what he's told. And he know what the play is, and it is what it is. Spence is fighting Keith Thurman next, and after that, he's probably going to move up to 54. Crawford is going to end up moving up to 54. All of those belts. This is my prediction. This is my prediction. No one has told me this, but this is what I see that's going down. Spence is going to fight Thurman, a guy who we said he's never going to fight. He's going to fight Thurman, and then he's going to move up to 54. Bud is going to move up to 54 as well. Now, unless Errol Spence really is the big fish, like he say he is, and he walks into Al Heyman's office and he carry his big fish weight around and say, "Look, Al, I'm the big. Listen, I'm Dallas, Texas. Cap, I'm big fish. I'm big fish. You work for me. You got to do what I tell you to do. I want the Crawford fight." Unless he say that and put his foot down on Al Heyman, it ain't going to happen. So apparently that's my assessment of it, guys. Move on. There's nothing else to see here. I hate. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Other than that, that's it. It's our boy, Coach Malachi Williams, signing out. New Media Today USA Boxing. You know my motto. Don't beat me there, beat me there. Peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.